Welcome to Diamond.Standard.Gaming, and today we're going to go ahead and we're working on our fourth part of our skyscraper build. So here I am on our third floor, which is going to be our first residential area in this skyscraper. Our first floor was a restaurant, our second floor was a lounge, and this is the third floor, which is going to be a residential area. So the first thing I'm starting with here is I'm going to basically put a divider wall in here right next to the stairs coming up from the outside, and then we'll build in a little like entryway for this little apartment that we're building here. So I'm using the same cobblestone bricks for the walls and the dividers as we used for the exterior of the house. And then this little alcove here that I'm building is going to be the little entryway. And then that little 1x4 or 1x3 section you see right here, that is going to be the stairs going up to the next floor. So that way, essentially, the stairs coming up is kind of like a public hallway area that people can walk through and not have to worry about disturbing the resident of this apartment. And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 bedrooms in here. So we're going to have one master bedroom, which is a little bit bigger, and then we're going to go ahead and put a little bedroom with a single bed in it. So that's how the little entranceway or the alcove looks coming in. And then I wasn't sure here. There was 3 spaces, and the other side has 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces really. So I think I do have to bring it out one more space here. So the door won't be able to be centered in the opening, which is fine. Alright, and then here I'm going to go ahead and put the stairs going up to the 4th floor. And then I put that block in the corner so I can easily turn the corner. Now on this side here, the stairs kind of sit right in front of the window. And I'll go take a look outside in a minute and see how that looks. See if it looks okay or not. I didn't necessarily want to block it, but when I put the windows in the building, I didn't really think about it, how exactly the stairs were going to go. So at this point, it's kind of too late to really change that. So we're going to stick with it. So here we have the stairs, and I can get up without hitting my head. So that there is the 4th floor. And then here I go outside, and I'm going to take a look real quick and see how this looks. So here it is, and it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. I guess because the block of glass is thick enough that it doesn't look like it's pushing right up against it on the outside. It looks like there's space in there, so it looks okay. Would look better if I designed the building a little bit different, I think, but it will make do. And then here on the back, on the left-hand side, you see there it's actually off-centered by 1. So I had it when I put the kitchen in the restaurant build down there. I had to break out the wall because where I put the divider wall for the kitchen. So here I'm going to do the same thing on this side, just so that window is still centered. It's a little smaller and a little bit smaller than the one on the 2nd floor above it, but at least it'll still be centered, and I think that looks pretty good. So overall, I'm happy with how they look. And I'll probably continue that trend with the stairs going up to the next floor as well. And there I was just checking it out again, making sure I can get up there without hitting my head or anything like that. So for the front door of this apartment, I'm going to go ahead and I choose a mangrove door, just to make it, you know, add a little color, make it a little different than the color of the flooring. So here is our entrance into our apartment, into our first residential apartment. And then here I'm just trying to think of how exactly, you know, before I place the walls, you know, where can I put the beds in this apartment here? So I'm just kind of giving it some thought. I didn't do a whole lot of planning on this, so it was kind of just as I was building, I was just you know, thinking, you know, what would look good. So essentially I go and I throw a bed right there. So that'll be for the first bedroom, the first and smaller bedroom. Alright, then I go ahead and I get some of the slate block and put a divider wall in there. So that's going to be the first bedroom. You can see it's really just slightly bigger than the bed itself. Just enough room to get in the bed. And then here I go ahead and put a double bed. This is like the master bedroom. And I decided to put the door down on that end of the room. And I'll go ahead and fix that in a second. I'll change that back to the right color flooring, but I just have that one on my inventory for right now, so it was easier to do that. And then here I actually decide to, for the master bedroom, bump it out one more. That way it doesn't block that window. Again, I didn't want to block the window with a wall. So by moving that divider wall at one, it gives me the space that I need. And then it also gives me a little bit more space around the bed. You'll see as I design the bedroom, it turns out pretty nice. And I go here and I finish off this divider wall right here. And I go and close the doorways in, just so they're the size of a door. And then you'll see in a bit too, out in that bigger area will be the living room, dining room, kitchen area. So for this room, I'm just pretending it's like a boy's room or something, so I'm going to go ahead and put like I'm going to actually change the bed out and make it a light blue bed. And then I pick the light blue carpet to match the bed. And this little area here, which is underneath the stairs, I'm going to go ahead and put a chest and a bookcase in there for some storage. So I like how it's come along so far. And I go ahead and grab my my bookshelf. And I grab my chest. Alright, and then I realized I can't actually open it. So then I was like, is there a slab for this deep slate bricks? So I go in here and look for it, and I think it's down here, right? Polished black stone. And it's right here, deep slate tile slab. So that's what I need. So I go ahead and put a slab in here instead of a block. And then I can go ahead and I can open the chest perfectly. So now we got some storage, we got some books. Now we got to go ahead and add in some lighting. So I'm kind of looking here. I'm not exactly sure. There's really no room for a floor lamp or anything like that. So we have these wall lamps. So I go ahead and I put it right here on the wall. And these lamps are pretty neat because you can actually turn them on and off. So towards the end of the video, you'll see I actually turn them all off just to see what it looks like. And I turn the time to midnight, so it's dark. And then I turn the lights off just to see what it all looks like. And then I go here and I put some artwork up on the wall here. Give it something nice to look at. I just throw this piece here and this block here temporarily just so I get a painting that's centered on the wall. And then, yeah, let's just pretend that this guy likes spiders. So he's got a big artwork with a spider on it for whatever reason. And that finishes up the first small bedroom. So then we go here over to the master bedroom. And I'm just kind of thinking in my mind here, you know, where do I want to place everything? So I go ahead and I place 2 bookshelves down here at the end of the room. Now in this room there's a little more space, so there's room for a floor lamp. I put a tall floor lamp there in the corner. And then I want to grab a chest again for some storage space. And I was thinking if I could fit like a sofa chair in here, but there's really not enough room. So what I do is I go and I put 2 tables at the side of the bed. And then on top of the 2 tables, I go ahead and I put a like a standing desk lamp. That way if they're like reading, you know, before bed or something like that, they can turn just the lamps on. But I didn't want that lamp. I just wanted the little regular desk lamp. So that's a standing lamp. There's another one. Let's see what it's called in here. Standing lamp. So it's just called the light gray lamp. And I go ahead and I throw that on each of the tables there. And again, you can turn them on and off. You can see the light change slightly right there, but not very much because there's so much light coming in from outside. But again, I'll show you towards the end of the video when I go ahead and I turn the time to midnight, and then you'll see the difference that the lights make. And when you put one light on versus 2 or 3, there's a significant difference. And then for some color in this room, I go with a yellow carpeting, and I kind of just wrap it around just chest here. And that really gives the room pop of color because the bed and the lamps are all yellow. And again here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw some artwork, so I just put that block temporarily. And I just kind of cycle through the different artworks that they have in here, and I can't really tell what that actually is, but I go with it. And then I grab a flower pot and I throw a couple flower pots and I plant some flowers up on top of the bookcases. Again, I go ahead and I give it a little pop of color, so I choose tulips here. And I go with the red and the orange tulip, give it a little bit more color. And I go ahead and plant them in the flower pots. Alright, so that is how the master bedroom looks right there. I think it's looking pretty nice. We got storage, we got books, we got some tables and lamps, and we've got our beds, of course. And we got lots of natural light coming in from outside with those big windows that are in there. I think that's a decent bedroom. Alright, then we're out here in the big area, and we're going to start by making the kitchen area. So I'm just going through here and grabbing some of the blocks that I need to get started. And again, I'm kind of doing this on a whim, so I really didn't plan this out all that much or anything. So I'm just thinking, you know, how will this look best and what will give me enough room to get around, but still make it functional, right? If I put too much room, there'll be no room for anything. If I put everything too tight, it'll be just too crowded. And it's always surprising how fast you fill up a space. I think this floor is, let's see, this is our third floor. So this is 13 by 13, and that's the exterior wall. So the interior of this apartment, or of the entire floor, is really 11 by 11 blocks. But you have that entryway with the stairs, so that really takes up 2 additional blocks. So it's really 9 by 11, I believe. So I grabbed the furnace, and this is for the this is for the stove. Essentially, I use it for the stove, and I plop that down right there. And then I use a cauldron for the sink, and I put that there in front of the window. And then what I do is I put some barrels up here for cabinets, some cabinet space, lots of storage. And what I decided to do is I just move that stove over one, and then I go ahead and I wanted some lower cabinets or some kind of work area. So at first I put the table in here like this, but then you'll see in a couple seconds here I didn't really like how that looked. So what I end up doing, you'll see in a minute, I go and I replace most of those with barrels as well. And I throw a lamp in this little corner right here. It's kind of open to the public area, so I go out here, and I'm just seeing if I were able to block it up in the corner here without blocking the window. So I put a test block right here. I lost that out of my inventory for some reason, but yeah, I go ahead and I grab the deep slate block. Deep slate bricks, and I just give it a quick test run to make sure I can actually get under it, and it turns out that I can. So it's really good because now I can actually block off that area. It's not open to the public area anymore. But what's cool is I have like a little alcove in there actually. So right now I put a little lamp in there. And again, you can see when you toggle the light on and off, there is a slight difference in the amount of light, but it's hard to tell right now because there's so much light coming in from the windows. And again, I did this all on a whim, so I'm just kind of stepping back and taking a look at it. And then I decide to go ahead and switch that out with a barrel, and I do the same thing here. Oh, I don't want that chair there though. Put the deep slate bricks back, and I replace this right here with a barrel. And then I leave the table in the center because you really can't get to a barrel if it wasn't there, because there's the sink's right in front of it. But I like how this is coming along right now. Looks like a nice little functional kitchen. And then what I do here is I put this little like half wall divider or 1 block high divider, and I end up turning it into kind of like a little I don't know, island or a peninsula or something. And then you'll see I go here and I put some stools up. Now these are the high stools, which I kind of like how they look, but the only thing I don't like is they're kind of as high as the countertop, so I didn't like that. So what I do is I break them down and I go and I put the lower stools in, which are these right here. Now I like the higher stools how they look, because they kind of look like they're more individual when you place them. So when you place these together, it kind of all meshes into one big piece. So I did like the higher stools for that, but I do like these lower stools for the height that they're at. So I think that looks pretty nice right there. You could sit there and eat your breakfast. And then what I do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little seating area in here. So I'm using the gray sofa. So I go ahead and put a gray sofa down right there. And then once I put that down, I do realize that I have a little bit extra space over here, and I will actually have enough space to put some table and chairs. So this little corner here is kind of like the dining room. This apartment is embracing the open space living style that a lot of people like nowadays. So I go ahead and throw some chairs. So we got an extra chair in here because there's only 3 people who live here, but that's good if we have a friend over or something. We'll have an extra chair. Invite a friend over for dinner, or to play a board game. So I'm just taking a look here, see how it all looks. I do like how it's turning out so far. And definitely let me know in the comments what you think, or if you have any ideas of something I should do differently. I would love to hear that. And again, we still have at least 2 more residential units that we're going to put into the skyscraper. So if you have any ideas, or you would like to see me put something specific in, let me know. And we could definitely add that into one of the next 2 residential units that we build. So I grab black concrete, and that's just that's kind of like my TV. So from the front, it does kind of look like a TV. I could sit there and watch my TV. And there I am taking a seat at the dining room table right there. So I do like how it's coming along. It's looking pretty nice. So one of the last things I need to do is go ahead and throw some lamps down in this common living area here. So earlier on I was going to use the gray lamps, But then I decided I wanted a touch of color since there's the black stool and the gray sofa and the gray walls. So I wanted to put some color in here, so I go ahead and pick an orange lamp out. And this room's a little bigger, so I do have room for a standing floor lamp. And I go ahead and replace that lamp that I had with an orange lamp. And then I go ahead here and I put one over the, or around the table area. That way if you're eating dinner or playing a game, you got lots of light. So you can see what you need to see. Alright, and then here's again the kids' room, the boys' room. That's how that looks. And then here we have the master suite with the double bed. We got the painting, we got the chest, we got some flowers and some bookshelves. And then right here is, of course, the common living area. And then right here is where I go ahead and I set the time to midnight, just to kind of get an idea of what it looks like in here when it's dark. And then I go ahead and I turn all the lights off. So you can see it's darker, but it's not that dark. I go in here, turn this light off. I guess the walls don't completely block out light in here. As you can see, the lights are really already off in this room. See when I turn one light how bright it actually gets in there. And that's all 3 lights on. It's pretty bright. And then here when I, it's really light out here now, but when I close this door, it doesn't really actually get any darker. So I guess just because the lights are in that room right next to it, it somehow lights up the whole area. But again, I go here and turn the lights off just to give you an idea of what it would look like. Let's say, the boy's home here, and home alone, his parents went out, and he's just in his room reading a book, or, he doesn't need all the lights on, so this is how it will kind of look. So this room's nice and light, but then out here it's pretty dark. And you go ahead and turn that light on, turn this one off. And then what I do is I go ahead and I run outside here, and I just kind of take a look from the outside to see what the apartment looks like, with just the one light on. And I'm going around here to the living area, and you can kind of see in there. It's not super light, but a little bit of light in there. And then, like I said, in our next couple builds, we'll be building more residential areas on these upper floors right here. And I can see, looks like the resident's already home up there on the top floor. Oh, we got a skeleton on the roof too. Looks like we got a creeper and a couple zombies. 3 zombies maybe, who live up on that top floor. Alright, and that concludes our builds for today. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you have any ideas, please share them in the comments, and we'll see if we can incorporate them in our next video. Until then, have a great day.